Alright, welcome back to the bench. Today we got some parts on a new project I'm working on, and it's going to be well, let's just look at what we got. Alright, we got some tires. These are Open Country Toyo RTs. Real soft. And dual foams. I'm not going to take them out, but it has dual foams. Okay, and very squishy, and they are I've lost my ruler. .5 inches, 1.9 wheels. Got some wheels. .9s. Then we have drive shafts. Links. This is a carbon fiber, low center of gravity transmission. It's all open, but it's got carbon fiber and it's all open. It's got metal gears. It's very smooth. Very smooth. Comes with a little mount, adjustable mount, and hardware. I'll leave it to where I got all this in the description. We got these are some 1.3s for this other project that I'm working on an 18th scale. I'm upgrading an 18th scale. There'll be a video on my small scale Saturday video on upgrades to this 18th scale vehicle. And these are a pair of pliers that I ordered. I got those for free with this order. And this is what everything's going to be based on. This is a carbon fiber chassis, low center of gravity chassis. Okay, so we have the rails, more parts. This is a top for it, and a motor mount, and skid plate, all the hardware we need, bracing, and a place to mount electronics and tubes and spacers. So everything we need to build us a low center of gravity competition type crawler. Okay, so we will continue to get more parts. We have got, let's see, what are we missing? All right, so we are working on this project, low center of gravity crawler, and I was saying we got a lot of stuff we need. We don't have shocks, and I guess one of the reasons I don't have shocks is that I really need to measure what size shocks I want and what kind of shocks I want, and if I want to do a droop, if I want to do a half droop, if I want to do a 70-30 droop, or if I don't want to droop at all. So that's something we're going to have to decide. We didn't have the axles, and the axles came in today. So let's take a look at those. And again, I'll have the price of everything in the description. I don't really want to say what it is now because right now I don't even remember. But now I want to see how much I have totally into this. But the axles are portals. And I opted for not buying metal axles housings. We have plastic. And I kind of did this for weight, total weight. Okay, now we're going to put some low center of gravity weight into these after we build it and see how it works. But for the purposes of the build, we are going to, I'm using molded hard plastic axle housings. A little cheaper, of course, and a little less weight. Now, the internals, I have no idea. I can tell you this. They say with the people I bought these from, these are Curry axles. Yeah, well, we know they're not. They might look like them, but they're not Curry axles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open one and show you guys what's inside. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, right now, they're really smooth. I mean, I don't feel any binding. This one here, I can tell it needs grease. That's not binding, but I can feel it that it has no grease. This one probably doesn't either, but this one's a lot smoother for some reason. So let's take a look inside and see what we have for the internal parts of this axle. Of course, like I said, I'm pretty sure there's no grease in it. So we will be greasing them up when I got them apart. They have a C-clip holding this shaft and gear in. And by the looks of it, it's not bad. Got all the places you need for your links and your shock towers. Okay, so yeah, they got a very little grease in them on one side. Bearings are held in there's a little bit of slop in here which can be fixed with a shim, and I don't know how much play you actually need, if you need any at all. I mean, it's hard to tell. It feels fine. You know, it's once the gears are in. But yeah, I'm going to put some grease in here. And if you watched any of my other videos, I use Utter Butter. It's just marine grease, waterproof. This whole vehicle is, you know, not going to be a big time water vehicle. But you can buy the same grease. I just got a deal on a bunch of Utter Butter stuff a few years back. And I bought grease and cleaner and some other stuff from these guys. When they kind of first started out, they had some pretty good deals. So I'll put a little more grease in here. You don't have to go crazy, but a little more than what they had. It was pretty stingy on the grease. But yeah, they're metal gears. And they don't look bad, I'll be honest with you. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. I don't feel any kind of bumping or banging or slipping. Like I said, as far as the slop that's inside. I don't think it's going to make any difference. The gears are pretty much locked in place with the, I don't think we're going to have any problem with any kind of slop. And we'll take a look at one of the that's not bad. One of the portals, and see what's in here. The hubs have lock screws in them. There's a space or a shim between the hub and the wheel, the gear, the wheel and the gear, the wheel and the bearing. I get it out. Okay, so yeah, the metal gears, bearings look good. There's absolutely no grease in this setup. So I'm going to put some grease in here. But yeah, they're metal gears. They do not look bad. Like I said, there's not a lot of slop. Yeah. No, there's none in there at all. So they're not sloppy. They're tight. They feel good. You know, we'll only know how long they last when we use them. But I'm not disappointed in them. They're not real expensive. Not real cheap either. But they're not overly expensive like metal ones would be. So the fact that they are plastic and then they got metal gears kind of keeps the price down. But yeah, so the only thing we don't have right now is the motor, and I'm probably pretty sure I'm going to be going with, I bought a quick run outboard, outer, out, what the heck they call it? I think they call it an outer. Motor and ESC, and I put it in another vehicle that I built, and I kind of like it. It's if you look at my video on my moon buggy, I used a Outrun Hobby Wing Outrunner and ESC for this vehicle, and I like the way it runs really well. So I'm going to use it. I think this one. It's like 189, $100. I don't know. So I'm thinking, ballparking it. This vehicle is probably going to have about $300 in it, and that's not bad for a low center of gravity vehicle. I mean, it's not cheap, but you know how much RCs cost nowadays. You're going to pay $400 or $500 for a good one. You know, $389 without motor, electronics, wheels, tires. So for a roller, you know, you got to have a receiver, a transmitter. If you want good parts, you know, or a decent vehicle. So, yeah. So I'm not disappointed in the axles at this point. But again, we'll see what happens when we drive them. It's the only way you're ever going to find out. Okay. So I'm going to finish up greasing these axles up and get ready to start building this vehicle. So look for future videos on the build now that we have looked at all the parts and talked about what we're going to do. And then we'll see if it all goes together like I planned. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.